I got into performance analysis as a student. I was studying in the University of Ulster in Jordanstown to do a master's, and one of my lecturers actually asked me did I want to volunteer and get involved with the Derry senior football team. So I'm a Tyrone woman, so I did swallow my pride to do that, but so I got involved there. Eamon Coleman, God rest him, was the manager, and I just loved the buzz of being involved and to think that you could actually help in some way for the team preparation and to make a difference.
When I played sport myself, I was a bit nerdy and I'd always keep the total scores of the team, or I'd keep a fixture list of that type of stuff with the team I was working with. When I was backpacking, I picked up a book called Moneyball, and it was about a baseball team that had used numbers to sort of reinvent itself. And just the idea of using numbers to discover things that other people might miss, it was just fascinating. And then when I came back, I started working with a few teams. I started working with different software companies. I think we see it everywhere. I think you see it every time on the Sunday game or any of the shows. I think you see it in every team. I think when you see the managers with their earpiece in their ear, there's normally somebody talking to them about stats in the game. You'll see when they confer with anyone on the sideline, normally there's somebody there that's inputting the stats or collecting the stats and feeding that back to the manager. So I think it's something you see throughout the entire game, and the media and on the playing side.
So if you're trying to play, for example, Dublin, the Dublin game plan now is built around making sure you get possession from your kickouts and building from there. So for them, that's totally critical to measure that and to know what their percentages are. Both in hurling and football, the most important thing actually associated with winning is your shot count. Not how many you score, but the actual taking of shots. So Kilkenny, when they were in their heyday, took more shots than anybody else. They could miss them, but because they took more, they won more games.
Performance analysis is a manual process. If you want to know whether a team had 150 hand passes or 20 shots or 30 puckouts, somebody has to count that. I think in 10 or 15 years' time, a machine is going to do a lot of that work for us. But I think probably the biggest advancement, the biggest reason performance analysis has advanced is the accessibility.
When you look at how visually and video literate the next generation of people and players are, that's probably where things will go to. My concern would be that we get distracted with far too much video and things. So I think the next generation of analysts need to be very careful to rein in that we don't get distracted, that video becomes a useful tool in player development, but that it is very much focused on the philosophy of play of the coach, on the values of the team, and that it is tied back to what we're trying to achieve.
You know, certainly as that drops down the levels to club and underage, it's really important that we use the tools in the right way rather than just use them because the big teams use them. The adult teams can obviously take criticism in a different way, they can take the constant monitoring in a different way, but as it drops down the age groups, we're going to have to be careful about how we use it.
The capacity to be able to measure things, for example, that we can put chips in people's boots, we can measure how far people have run, we can do an awful lot more with technology. However, that necessarily doesn't mean we should. Just because we can measure something doesn't mean we should measure something. I think if we go back to what the GAA is about, and it should be about having fun and playing and belonging and being with your buddies, playing and winning things and out with your county or your club. And if the technology serves that, if technology can enhance your enjoyment of the game and it can enhance and make you a better player and you feel that that's something that's fun and you want to do, then absolutely.